Ma'am, can you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Audible. You're
Yeah,
audible, sir. You can
can you
start
able
the
to
session,
start?
sir.
Okay. Okay. Good afternoon to one and all. So we'll just try to start one more session from 2:30. Sorry, 3:30. Okay. So I hope everyone have been understood slowly. So maybe if at all you're having any sort of doubts or any queries, okay, feel free to ask. Okay. So you can just go drop your message in and drop out chat box, or you can just unmute yourself and you can just ask the question directly. Okay. So yes, we'll just try to start the session. Okay. So previously I was just demonstrating you how you can able to access the things. Okay. So previously I showed you that you can able to control from lab view, or you can say able to send the data. Okay. So same similarly, now I'll just try to access the accelerometer and I'll just show you the demo. So meanwhile, I'll just try to right click. So under my Rio, okay. So I have to add a new VI. Fine. So here I have taken a new VI for the demonstration of the accelerometer. So here, like as you all know how the accelerometer
Sir,
works.
your screen is not visible.
Okay. I think I am not presented. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay.
Now is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Okay, fine. So like previously we have did this way, and we were just trying to check how the response is been going. So now what we'll do, we'll just try to add one more VI. I'll take a new VI. So right click on the Rio hardware. So new and VI. So I'll be taking a new VI. So under new VI, we'll just try to access the accelerometer values. Okay, means from the Rio, the accelerometer values will be keep on generating. Okay, means it will be keep on sending some sort of different values. So that value is going to be acquired in an lab. Okay, so we're going to access and we're going to work on the same. So for that, what I'll do, I'll right click on block diagram. So first, first preferably what we have to do is first we have to design a front panel in the lab. So before getting into any one of the thing. So in this, maybe we'll just trying to go for a waveform chart. So in order to display the waves, it means the axis values. Okay. So and after that, I'll be taking a control. Sorry, the indicators. Okay. So I'll mention it as x-axis. Okay, so here the y-axis. Why? Because even I have to display the values. Okay, so next the z-axis. I'll just try to uh, keep it here in the vertical manner. Okay, so I've taken a waveform chart with all the three axes. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll just directly right click on block diagram. So go to my Rio. So under my Rio, I have to access the accelerometer. So I'll just take the accelerometer and place. So whenever you are trying to work on the lab view. Okay, so please make sure that if at all you got any sort of a requirement, first make sure that design your front panel. Okay, why? Because the front panel is a user interface where you can able to give the input or only you can acquire the output back, okay, or check the output. So if the user interface is looking good or it's working well and fine, so then no issues that you can able to look your outputs or to check the results very clearly. Okay, so here I have been enable or disable the axis. Like if at all you want only two axes, so I'll disable Z and I can take it X as well as Y. But as of now, we'll just try to take all the three. So to we'll just see how exactly these things works. Okay, so right now I'm getting three values. Okay, so X axis, I'll just try to connect X, Y as well as Z. X to X. Okay, so Y to Y. So I have taken X as X, Y, and Z. I have taken connected individually. So now all the three waveforms means whatever the distortion or disturbance that we are going to get here. So all the three has to be connected for this. Okay. So how that will be connected? Why? Because since it is having three different outputs, right? So having X, Y, and Z three different, but ultimately we are having only one waveform chart. So, but if we at all we want to connect all the three, what we can do is, okay. So if you go for a cluster, class, and variant, so here you have option called bundle. Okay. So I'll take a bundle function and I'll try to connect all the three inputs. Just I have shorted a wire. So this I'll be connecting to the waveform chart where all the waveforms will be bundled and it will be given. So in order to acquire continuously, so I'm placing the entire code inside a while loop. Okay. So I'll create one stop button. Okay, so I'll place some delay. So why? Because okay, so let me check how this exactly works without delay. So maybe if possible next how exactly we can able to access the things, maybe will be understand. Okay, okay, so now make sure that you have to check whether your hardware has been connected here properly. Yes, it's been connected. Why? Because you can see the green color LED showing over here. So now if I try to run, so here I'll not run continuously. Why? Because since I have kept this inside a while loop, okay. So everyone knows that how while loop works. Okay. So while loop will be keep on works like an in an infinite way. So until and unless you give a condition, okay, so it won't be stopped. Correct. So that is how the while loop works. So now we'll just see by just clicking on a run. Okay. So it will ask to save. So okay, fine. I'll just give as a save. Okay, so now it's been deploying. Okay, so once it is deployed, okay, so now you can just see, the variation is very much fast, right? So you cannot able to trace the output, but it's the values are keep on going. Correct. So now I flip the vi, so somewhere it's going very fast, we cannot able to trace the output. So if I click on the stop button, okay, so you can just see for for very few seconds, hardly like 10-15 seconds, I hope so. So I can just see the while loop has been executed 14 lakh 84 times, 14 lakh 14 lakhs 84,233 times your while loop has been executed. So how I can easily say exactly is nothing but here the values. You can see 1484233. Okay, so it is the time, how much time your while loop has been executed, means how much fast the lab view is. You can just imagine for just for the hardly span of a 15 or 10 to 15 seconds. So your while loop has been acquired, means the values, accelerometer values have been acquired, and it has been plotted in the graph. Okay, so you can just see, I think this is not exactly the graph, but the variations from the positive peak or the negative peak, everything will be shown in this waveform chart. And here also you can just see the x-axis values. Okay, so y-axis values and z-axis values. Okay, so all the values, whatever the values here you're getting, so the same thing is going to be plotted in the waveform chart. Okay, so this is why it's going to be happen, like within a span of a very short time. Okay, so why the while loop has been executed this many times is nothing but by not placing a proper delay. Okay, so in order to work this in a proper manner, so we can able to trace, should be able to trace in a very good method. So it's always better to place a wait function. Okay, so I have right click in a block diagram, go to timing. Here we have option called wait in milliseconds. So I'll just place in wait in milliseconds. So it's not a seconds. Okay, it's in milliseconds. So I'll give it as 100 milliseconds. So 100 millisecond is nothing but if you convert it that into a seconds, it takes as a 0.1 second. So for each and every iteration, it's going to be taken as a 0.1 a second as a delay. Okay, so please don't be confused. This actually, this is in terms of an milliseconds, not in a seconds. Okay, I'll just label this. Maybe you can just see in wait. Okay, wait in bracket, they have been clearly mentioned as ms, so it's nothing but a millisecond. Okay, so they have been clearly specified. So if you convert this into a second, 100 into a seconds, okay, 100 divided by the 1000 if you do, so it will be like a 0.1. So for every 0.1 seconds, okay, so this will be keep on iterating. Okay, that is nothing but delay. Correct. So now if I try to run, so maybe you can just check the actual output, how you can able to get. Yeah, so now we can just see, so the lines, green line, white. Okay, so now see, I'll just trying to vibrate the Myrio. Okay, correct. So green color, actually green line stands for the z axis. So this, whatever the green line, the first line, whatever you are getting is for z axis. And the red color, whatever the red distortion now you are getting is of y axis. And white color, whatever the distortion you are getting more is of x axis. Okay, means the distortion now is more in terms of x, as well as the z. You can just see white is also responding, as well as z is also responding. So more, if you want the response to be checked, you can just see a green line is uh, moving in a faster way, like a waveforms. Correct. So why? Because I'm just trying to tap on a Myrio, okay, from the z axis. So that's why I'm getting the more distortion. Now I'll just keep quiet. Yeah, you can just see now there is no response in z axis at all. Correct. So now if I just try to tap towards x, correct, so you can just see now white color, the signal whatever you are getting is iterating the more. Correct, means I'm just trying to give a distortion for the x-axis. Okay, so now if I give distortion for y, you can just see red is giving me the more values, more number of values. So the same values you can just watch over the indicators here, whatever the indicators I'm given. So here the representation wise, okay, in LabVIEW it will be well and good that if you have been given the chart as well as the numeric indicators properly. Okay, so same way if I make a z dash flip. Okay, so now you can see a green line is coming over like around -1. Correct. So from -1, I'm just trying to generate the values. Why? Because I flipped and now I'm giving the distortion from -1 from the bottom. So now you're getting, it's around -1, -1.2, minus or maximum 1.3 will be the peak. Okay. So now again, slowly, if I tilt and keep it, as it is. So now we can just see the variations. Okay. So by just looking into this, okay, some ideas or something will be running in your mind. Okay. So why these things have been showing here clearly is, okay, why? Because since I've just given you the example in a previous session, okay, if at all you want to know where exactly or how exactly the car is vibrating in any one part of the thing, okay, so maybe they'll connect the sensor, correct, the accelerometer sensor. So then you can able to clearly see, okay, like not only one sensor will be connected to one part, like seriously or parallelly they'll be connecting like 4 to 5 different sensor according to their wheels or the shock absorbers, whatever they have been used. Okay, so from there, or else maybe if the car has been crossed more than 100 km/h, okay, I think that the engine is going to be vibrate. Okay, they'll be not knowing at what certain level or what certain speed they're going to be vibrating. Okay, so if they use this sort of a sensor, they'll be actually knowing that, okay, what is the reason, where exactly it is going on, so that they can able to rechange the parts, or they can overcome with their faults, and they can able to manufacture their cars or the bikes, etc., like whatever they have been using, okay, in according to their factory. Okay, they can able to rectify it very clearly. Okay, so that was here I was showing. I was just giving a disturbance, from x-axis or y-axis. You can just see, if I just try to tap all the things, all the things can be able to vary at a time. But make sure that here we'll be clearly, getting, in which way we can just see now. I'll just stop it. Okay, maybe we'll just try to observe and analyze here. So from the z-axis, you can just see it's crossed around 3.4, 3.5 to 3.8 maximum. Okay, why? Because the more distortion has been created only in the z-axis, but not in an x or y. So x or y is very minute, like it is giving only zero point 0.5, zero point 0.7, and y is giving around minus something. Correct. So to just for the analyzing purpose, they'll be using the LabUtil. Okay, that's what I have been designed in such a way that the code should be very much flexible. Okay, so if at all you want to try catching anything like with respect to axis or where the vibration exactly you are getting. Okay, so in order to get these things, okay, so this is the best method where I can able to show you guys. So let me know if at all you're having any doubts to this. Maybe I'll just clear your doubts or queries. Next, we'll be moving on to the next part. Okay. So I hope there is no doubts. Okay. So fine, no problem. We'll just go for the next part. Okay. So next we'll be just trying to see how exactly uh, the loop back test. Okay, like previously what we did, the same loop back test. Here also I'll be just showing you the difference, check difference between the ports, A port, B port, as well as the C port. Okay, with respect to analog and digital. I think digital it's almost same. Okay, there is no difference between all the ports. But how you can able to configure, how you can able to check the things. Okay, so maybe we'll just see these things. So first I would like to show you on analog input and analog output. Okay, so here if you take analog in, okay, analog in is nothing but where you're going to acquire the values. Okay, yeah. So once it is opened, okay, so here you are having the code. So in the background of this, what code will be there, you can just see this is what a simple code. Okay, so how they can able to represent. but here you're not using this exact code, but instead you are using the express vi, what we call the blue box. Okay, so this is where you can just see the minute blue box, right? So this is what we call as express VIs, but behind this, okay, in a background, this code will be working. Okay, so but we are not writing this code. Instead we are just configuring in order to make this work. That's it. Okay, and even here you can just go with connection diagram also based on what connector you use. Okay, so here you can just see having many ground connection, and you have selected AI03. Why? Because in configuration you can just see a port slash AI0 pin number 3. Okay, means in the a port you have been connected to AI. I think that if I change this to pin number 5, so if you go for a connection diagram, you can just see previously it was connected to 3 AIO, but now it's been connected to 5. Okay, so LabVIEW makes you very easier, or the user or developer who are doing, okay, it makes very easier, and they'll makes that to understand very well. Okay, how exactly or what exactly they are working, it will be very easy, and it will be very, I can say, user friendly. Okay, so here maybe like based on the ports what you been given. Okay, so let me take port pin number 3 of acquiring. So if you want to select more than one pin, okay, so I'll just show that even how you can able to tell. So but as of now I've taken only one input. So if you just double click on the same box, yeah, so here you have having the channel name. Maybe you can just give what either it is temperature or a sensor, or which type of sensor output it is. Or if you want more channels to be added, so just click on this add, so that you will get different channel names. You can just change that accordingly. Okay, which pins you want. Okay, automatically it will be keep on once you selected pin number 3, again pin number 3 will not be given. Why? Because it will be reserved. Okay, so next it will be going for pin number 5. So and pin number 3 and pin number 5 will be reserved. Again, it won't be repeated. Okay, so maybe you can use these sort of things. Okay, so I'll just disable. Like, as of now, pin number 3 is enough. Yeah, so now here I'll be creating one indicator. So right click, create an indicator. This is somewhere like shortcut. Okay, so where you can able to create it in an easy way. Okay, so now I've been trying to save the output, but so I need to generate some output, correct? So for generation, what I'll do, I'll go to my Rio. I'll go with analog out. Same here in analog out also, you can able to select the channel, but here you can select only the analog output channel. So based on what you have been selected. So since I told you that we are having 6 analog channels, correct? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So audio left and audio right, it will not be considered. So but as of now, you are having 6 analog outputs. Okay. So we'll just go with pin number 2 and click OK. Okay. So now here I'll just right click, create a control. This control will be connected here. Okay, so now whatever the value you have been given here, so that value has to be displayed. So that is what my thing. Why? Because I have just connected only the wire from pin number 2 to pin number 3. That's it. So I'll just run continuously. Okay, so you can just see you are getting some sort of a value for 0. Okay, So if I make it as a 1, okay, so even, oh, sorry, I'm not connected the wire. So I'll just give a connection. So pin number 3 to pin number 2. Yeah, I hope now you can just see for 1, I'm getting it as, 0.99. So same similarly, if I give it as 2, okay, so now you'll be getting, the point 1.99. So same similarly for 5. So I told you the voltage range is from 0 to 5. So if I make it as a 5, so hardly you'll be getting, the fifth output. Okay, so now you are getting 4.99. But if you make it as the 8 or something, so here you can just clear observe, you will be not able to get the result. So now you are getting maximum is 4.99. So even though if you are given 8, so why? Because so this analog output channels from channel A or channel B, so port A or port B, will be maximum will be worked from 0 to 5. It will be not going beyond 5. So why? Because the voltage range itself is a 0 to 5. So you can just clearly observe now. So even though if you given increased or decreased anything, okay, its maximum is 4.99. So apart from that, you won't be able to get any other outputs. Okay, but same similarly, if we try to check it from a pin number, sorry, the port C, like yesterday what we did as a MIDAC. So if you try to check for that, okay, so maybe we'll just try to see whether you're getting a proper value. So for that also the same procedure. Again, right click, go to MyRio. So go for analog input. So here you have to select the port accordingly. That's it. Okay, so here I'll go with C/AIO0. So I'll just click. Okay, this is my analog input. So for this, I'll create an indicator. Same, I'll go for MyRio analog output to generate the values. So let me take the CAO0. Okay, so here let me take a knob, okay, for controlling. So and here I'll just give the threshold. Why? Because I know the threshold is of -10 to +10. Okay, so I've given -10 to +10. Why? Because so beyond -10 to +10 you cannot able to go. Why? Because it won't be work. So it's better always to give minimum and maximum voltage whenever you are using the knobs or dial anything. Okay, so why? Because since it's an industries, okay, so there will be a chances of any disaster will be happened, like if at all you given the maximum limit. Say example that take example of any boiler. Okay, so if that boiler having a capacity that it can able to reach maximum the 100 degree Celsius. Okay, so think that if at all you are given 200 or 500 degree in the knob. Okay, so obviously the user, what he'll do, the operator, he'll just try to increase the volume by mistake. So just think that if it goes to more than 120 or more than 150. Okay, so but that boiler capacity is maximum 100, so it cannot go beyond 100, correct? So if in that case, if any disaster has happened, so that will be blame for the developer, correct? So always being a good developer, what we'll be doing is, so we'll be just trying to set the limit. Okay, if it is starting from 0 to 100, so we'll be just clearly mentioning it as 0 to 100. So or else if it is going for any negativity, or negative terminal, like minus degrees to just cool down if anything, or any oil or any solutions has to be cooled up. Okay, so at that time even we will be giving option for the degree. So once it has been reached the maximum temperature, so again it has to come back for the minimum, then it has to go for the negative values. Correct. So now we'll just check accordingly. Okay, so right now okay. I'll just run continuously. Yeah. So now we can just see, observe the things. So I've given 2 volt. So as of it is showing 2.5. Okay, so maybe I'll just create an digital display. Can just compare this value. Okay, whatever the value here you are getting. Okay, so in the control, so it's the same as the value what you are getting in an indicator. So you can just observe these things. Yeah. So now I'm given around 4.1 as an input. So you're getting here like 4.09. Okay, that 0.1 will be an the error. So why? Because since it will be mattered for the wiring connection. So if the wire has been not connected properly, so there will be a chances of the data you won't be getting. But that's not fine. That's fine. Like if at all you lose for like 0.1 or 0.2, that will not be very big loss. Okay, so then similar, if I give it as a 10, so getting like 9.9. Okay, in the positive side. So same similarly, if I give it as negative numbers, so giving the same. But whenever you are trying to check in the A port or a B port, even though if you are given 8, okay, so but maximum you will be getting it as a 5 only. Correct. So maybe you can just observe both. I am running parallelly, A port as well as a B port. Okay, so this is where we can easily observe, okay, what is a problem. And now even I'll be just showing you one more thing. Okay, I'll just try to disconnect a wire, the negative terminal, whatever I have been connected. So you can just see what numbers you are getting it in this here. So just try to give some number. Okay, so I just try to remove the negative terminal. Okay, in C port, maybe you can just see, okay, I'm just trying to give 1.15. Okay, but you are getting some the different values. Correct. So you can just see it is getting 0.8 and 9 and 1.3. So you are not matching with the data. Why? Because I have removed a negative terminal. I just removed a ground terminal. You can just see you're getting some unwanted values. So even though if I increase something, it's not actually getting the values. So that is where we have to understand. So what is the important importance of giving the ground value? Okay, mentioning the ground value will matters a lot. Okay, so please make sure that whenever you are connecting with any sort of a sensor, I'm not speaking only with respect to this hardware. Okay, in any other hardware, if at all you are trying to work with any sort of hardware, please make sure that give a proper grounding. So if at all you are not giving a proper grounding, you won't be able to get a proper results. You cannot check the proper results. Fine. So this is where the difference between the A port or the B port. Okay, so A port will be having a maximum voltage of 0 to 5 volts. So, but even though if you give beyond 5 volts, so you'll be not able to get a voltage, but maximum you will get up to 5. But here you can just set like -10 to +10. Beyond -10, if at all you are trying to give anything, it won't be worked. Okay, so this is where with example to the analog. Sorry. Okay, so next we'll just look into even the digital part. I hope digital part everything will work same. Okay, there is no difference between why, because so even in yesterday's DAC, whatever I was just showing as a digital, okay, so it was, even though it was working as the same. Okay, so there was no change at all. Okay, here also the same way the digital works. Maybe like we'll just try to explore the new features and all. Okay, so here one thing is, okay, one problem that we are facing. Okay, I'll just try to minimize this. Okay, so you are just seeing, okay, you are just trying to access the accelerometer values. Okay, you just access the accelerometer only under the MyRio, correct? So you are just created an VI under the MyRio, so only you can able to access here. But if you want to access the same, okay, so let me show a project here. Created a host VI. Okay, so in this host VI, if you see, okay, so the space of the space where the MyRio option was available, so it is totally blank. You cannot able to access the MyRio. Okay, so but here we are having one option. Okay, so where you can able to access the result of your MyRios. Take example, like you are able to access the graphs, correct? So that graph or the chart, whatever you have been accessed there. Okay, so the result, whatever the accelerometer values that you are getting. So if you want to access in under my computer, okay, it is possible, but not by keeping the accelerometer palette or a Boolean button palette, nothing. Okay, so for that we are having one option called the variables. Okay, we call that as a variable. So using shared variable, we can able to transfer a data from one system to another. Okay, so here actually speaking, my system is my laptop is of one different system, and my MyRio is of one different system. Okay, even though if it is connected through a wire. Okay, so but it calls it has a different system, correct? So we cannot able to change these things. Okay, so we are having one option called transferring a data between RT to host and host to RT. Okay, so transferring data from RT to host is, we are anyhow we know that MyRio is a real time, correct? So from a MyRio, a real time application, we are going to transfer a data to a host. Okay, and from the host we are going to transfer a data to an RT. So this is possible, actually speaking. Okay, so that we'll just see how you can able to work this. Okay, so now here we'll just try to set up the same thing. I have taken two different front panels. So one is MyRio front panel that has been already done. So now under my computer, I'll just try to take the same chart. Okay, so next I'll be taking three different indicators. Or else maybe I'll just take a meter. Okay, so I'll just give it as like -5 to +5, the range. Okay, so for this I'll give it as x-axis. Same, I'll take a copy of this and make this as a y-axis. And I'll give it as a z-axis. Okay, so these have been taken here. Okay, so here what I'll do is, I'll just try to open a project. So in project here, what I was supposed to do is, using a project window itself, I can able to transfer a data. Okay, without project window, we cannot able to work with the MyRio at all. Okay, so for that, what I'll do, I'll just right click on the MyRio, go to new. So here I have an option called a variable. Okay, so I'll just select this variable. So once you select a variable, you will get a property window. That is what we call as shared variable properties. So that's what I was explaining. So in Labio, actually, we are having three different variables. So one is a local variable, second is a global variable, and third is shared variable. Okay, let me tell you the difference between these three. Local variable is nothing but it can able to transfer a data within a VA. Okay, think that you're having one block diagram on front panel. Okay, within that particular VA, it can able to transfer data from somewhere to to that particular VA. In that VA, you are generating something. So from there, you are supposed to transfer a data. Okay, that is what a local variable. So one next is global variable. So this global variable will try to transfer a data from one VA to the another VA. Okay, this is what I am speaking with respect to a normal VAs under my computer. So not under my Rio. Okay, so local variable can able to transfer a data from within a VI. Global variable can able to transfer a data from one VI to another VI. But whereas shared variable can able to transfer from one system to another system. Okay, so here my laptop is my one system and my Rio is of one system. Okay, so I'm trying to transfer a data. So here I'll give variable name as axometer values. Okay, so here you have to select the data type. What was the data type I have used previously? So I have used a numeric DBL. Okay, that is nothing but a floating, or we call even that as a double. Okay, I have taken the same. Okay, so now I'll just click on OK. Now my axometer values, not all the values. I have to create each and everything. Okay, I'll just try to double click, or else what I'll do is I'll just give it a axometer x-axis. Okay, x-axis axometer values. Okay, so I've seen one more library has been created. So under this new variable, so this variable will be axometer y-axis, the same data type. Again, I'll add one more variable and say this as axometer z-axis. Okay, so I'll save the variable, give this as axometer variable. Okay, so these three variables have been taken. So now what I'll do is so since it's a graphical programming method, okay, so it's very easy that you can just drag and drop the particular icons or the things. Okay, so I'll just drag and drop. You can just see, so it is in a band symbol. So when I just try to place here, you can just see as one box have been created. So similarly, select y-axis, drag and drop, bring to a block diagram, not to your front panel. Okay, so same the z-axis. Okay, so now here you have to make arrangements, correct? So now you can just see the terminal is towards your right hand side, but it has to be towards the left hand side. Why? Because it's an indicators. Okay, so you have to update the indicators. So I'll right click, change to access mode, right. So it is in read mode. So I'll change this to a write mode. Okay, so now I can able to connect x to x, y to y, and z to z. X-axis to x-axis, y to y, and z to z. Okay, so now it is done under my Rio. So I have been connected. So now next what I'll be doing is I'll just go to the VI So under my computer, okay, you can just see we have taken the waveform chart. Okay, so everything. So I'll place entire thing under while loop. Keep it a stop button. Okay, so I'll take x-axis and y-axis, z-axis. Okay, so here also, actually speaking, this the project window, it will be same common for both the VAs, like VA under MyRio as well as a VA under host. Okay, so here also the same way, I'll just drag and drop x to x, x-axis, y-axis to y-axis, z-axis to z-axis. Okay, so here no need to change any axis mode. Why? Because it's already in an the right axis. So just I'll try to connect x to x, y to y, and z to z. Okay, so now I'll bundle everything and I'll connect to the waveform chart. So go to cluster, I'll take a bundle function. So I'll connect x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. I'll connect to the waveform chart. And I'll place a delay, same delay, whatever have been placed over there. 100 milliseconds. I'm giving the same delay. Okay, so now you can just see here I am not using any accelerometer. Why? Because I don't have under MyRio I don't have any things that to be done. So I am not using any accelerometer, but instead I am using a variables. So where I can able to, and here I'll just ask to show the front panel. Yeah. Okay. So actually speaking, this is a separate VA and this is a separate VA. Okay, you can just see the difference. But when I try to run, okay, first you have to make sure that you have to run the RT VA. So I'll just click on run. Okay, so first make sure that you will be running RTVI. So RTVI is able to give the results. So at the same time, I'll just try to run the host VI. Okay, yeah. Now you can just see you are having the values. You are getting some values. Okay, without having any error. So whatever the distortion I done, okay, at the same time, at the same values, the values are being going to be deployed here. I hope you can just see. You can just see there is no change at all, not even a 0.1 of the changes. So whatever the changes I am doing here, the same changes have been updating here also. You can just see. Okay, and even both are of different front panels. Okay, so whatever the Rio. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll just try to make some distortion. Okay, so I just try to stop the MyRio. Okay, so but now if you see under a host VI, even though if I'm giving some sort of input, you can just see only blank lines. Okay, straight lines how you are getting. Why? Because a library, okay, whatever the accelerometer you have connected to the library, the variable. So that variable is not sending any sort of information for the host VA. So that's why you're not getting any output. Okay, so if I try to run this, okay, so it immediately you can able to view the result. Correct? So you can just see immediately, a very immediate thing, you can able to view the results. Okay, so within with no delay. So if I just try to stop this, okay, the host VA, no worries. Why? Because the accelerometer it's been already connected to the MyRio, so it will be keep on working with no issues at all. Okay, so here you are having a number of options that where you can able to send your values. Okay, Rio values to my computer and my computer to Rio the same way. Okay, so but usually the things what the things we'll be doing is we'll be always sending the values from host VA RT to host. Why? Because real time is very rare that even though if you are not connected, if you want to able to access the values, okay, so that at that time we'll be using a shared variables. Okay, so even though if it is very necessary, we can able to go with host to RT, means sending information to host. But I don't think so it's been very much useful. Why? Because so whatever the function you will be able to use in the host, okay, under my computer, the same function will be worked here also under MyRio. So here only miss is you cannot able to access the MyRio palette, okay, under my computer. Okay, that is what the major issue. So that's why it is better to go with RT2 host whenever you are being connected a Rio. That if you want to see check the results in your under my computer. Okay, so let me know if at all you are having any doubts. We'll just try to solve this and we'll go for the next topic. Okay, fine. So I don't think so people are having doubts. Okay, so no worries. Okay, so next we'll be going for the next next feature. We'll try to access the next feature called the standalone application. Okay, we'll just try to develop the standalone application. So how this standalone application can be done? Okay, we'll just try to look into it. Okay, so for that standalone application, let me take the same application, the axiometer itself. Okay, in order to not waste our time. Okay, so anyhow, you know how the standalone application works. Okay, so even though your the hardware is not connected to your system, okay, so you'll be just trying to dump the code for the hardware and it starts working even though if it is powered off. Correct. So this is what the way you have been known about the standalone. Okay, actually speaking, it's true. Okay, so even though if your hardware has not been has been powered up for n number of times, okay, by disconnecting and connecting, so your standalone application should work. Correct. So that is what the thing here we are trying to develop. Okay, so for that I'll try to access one more thing of button. Okay, so I'll just try to access the button LED. So we'll just try to dump two parallel things at a time. Okay, so the button value, I'll create an indicator. Okay, first we'll just try to check whether it's working fine or not. Okay, so getting axiometer values, so as well as the button values, both you are getting at a time. Okay, fine. I'll just try to stop the code. Okay, so now how we can able to work with a standalone application, how to develop the standalone application. Okay, it's actually very simple. Okay, so first you need to go for the NI Max, whatever I have been explained you in the morning. So here you have to select under MyRio. Okay, so here you're having one option called disable RT startup app. Actually speaking, this should initially it will be enabled, but as of now it is disabled. It should be disabled in order to work with this sort of application. Okay, so I'll just check whether this disable RT startup app is enabled or not. So it is not being enabled. Okay, so now I'll open a project window. Okay, so now what I have to make is I have ready given a ready-made code. Okay, now I'm having one code. So this code has to be dumped to the MyRio. Okay, even I told that MyRio is having around 256 MB of memory of DDR3 RAM. Okay, So what we'll be doing is we'll be just trying to send this information to the, means this code will be dumped to your MyRio. Okay, so once it is dumped, okay, so even though if you are given power up or power down n number of times, it should work, means your MyRio should work, right? So what I'll do, so I'll select a build specification. I'll right click on build specification under MyRio, go to new. Okay, so here you are having option called real time application, RTA we call that as. So I'll just click on that. Yeah, so here you are getting the real time application. So here you are having some sort of a categories like information, source file, destination and all. So I'll just go for a source file. Okay, so in this source file you are having some sort of a VAs, okay, accelerometer demo, analog demo and button demo. But as of now I want accelerometer demo to be send it to a startup. So I'll just select this accelerometer demo and I'll click on arrow, so that the accelerometer VI will be sent to this startup VIs. So then next I'll just click on build. Okay, it takes some time. Okay, means I'm just trying to send my information, means whatever the VI I'm having. So I'm just trying to send by compiling it. It takes some time so that it it will be start communicating between my system and the hardware. Yeah, so now my application has been dumped. Okay, you can locate the build that they have been given some the path. I'll just click on done. Okay, so after that you can just see my real-time application is ready. So now what I'll do, I'll just right click. First I'll give a select option as set as startup. So again I'll just click on run as startup. Okay, so now it's been deployed successfully. Okay, so now it is asking my MyRio to reboot in order to work with this application. So I'll just click yes. So it takes some time. Okay, it just takes some very few minutes, like hardly 1 minute. Okay, so why? Because your VI will be gets restarted. Okay, so once it gets restarted, okay, so meanwhile the application will be keep on running as it is. Yeah, so now you can just see now it's been connected. Okay, so once this is connected, okay, so you can just see yeah, it's been deployed. Okay, so it's deployed and it start running automatically. Yes, you can just see it started running automatically. So once I have been given as run as startup, and meanwhile you can just see the values have been getting. So even though you can access the accelerometer values also. Okay, this is actually the standalone application whatever I did. So even though if it is powered off, think that it's been powered off, I'll just remove the power wire. Okay, so you can just see you got an error saying that warning, connection to the target has been lost. Okay, so you're getting error. I'll just click OK. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll just try to again power off. Means I'll just connect a power adapter to that. Okay, so now it's been connected and it takes some time to just restart. Yeah, you can just see now it's been powered up and you got an pop-up. Okay, so once you got a pop-up, Okay, you can just see the deployment progress starts automatically. Okay, so even though if I not click on a run button, okay, so it will be run continuously and closes, it is start working. Okay, I hope you can just see that. Okay, even I can able to access the values. Okay, so this is how the standalone application works. So even though your the output has keep on deploying, why? Because I've just deployed my code into an hardware. Okay, so here after deploying the hardware, okay, so here we were just done some sort of my real-time application. Okay, so once it is been done, so it will be keep on running. Okay, so that is what I have done here. Right click, set as startup and run as startup. Correct. So now if I just click on unset as startup, so this application will not be automatically restarted. Okay, means it will be in an idle state. Means like before how the Myrio was, it will be in the same state. It will be not keep on deploying the things. Okay, so this is where you can able to create your standalone applications. Okay, under Myrio. So let me know if you people are having any doubts. We'll just go for the next thing. Okay, I hope no, I know the queries or the questions. Okay, no issues. We'll just try to go for the next thing. Okay, so the next thing will be like how you can able to establish a connection for the wireless network. Okay, so let it be we'll be just trying to use the same vi. Okay, so in order we'll be not connecting instead of wasting time, we'll not just go for any create of next vi. Okay, so for this, okay, I was just telling you that all the settings, whatever the settings for Myrio, should be always done under the NIMAX. Okay, the measurement and automation explorer. So here I'll just go for the network settings. Okay, so as of now you can just see your the Ethernet adapter. Okay, everything, the IPv4, all the address they have been given. So now here it's been disabled. Okay, if you have been created as an if you have been created as an wireless network, so you're having two options. So one is connect to wireless network and one more is create wireless network. Correct. So I'll just tell you the difference. Connect to wireless network is nothing but think that you're having a Wi-Fi. Okay, so you're having a Wi-Fi. So if you want to connect your Myrio to that particular Wi-Fi, then we'll be using the option called connect to wireless network. Okay, so when you're connected to wireless network, your Wi-Fi will be acted as a modem. Okay, like think that your mobile will be created as a hotspot. Your Myrio can able to be connected to that hotspot. Okay, so that is what connect to wireless network. So next, create wireless network. Create wireless network in the sense your Myrio can able to create as an hotspot. So to that hotspot, your laptop and to your mobile can able to be connected. Okay, so that is what the thing. So if I seek that create a wireless network. Okay, so here they will be giving as SSID name. Okay, so for that what I'll give it as same VAS Rio. I given as the same name as VAS Rio. Okay, so here the configuration part will be given as IPv4 DHCP only. So you have to give it as DHCP only. So after changing this, you have to give it as save. So it will ask whether you want to restart a VA. Just click yes. Okay. So once you click on yes, okay, so your Rio will be disconnected, and later part it will try to connect. So each and every time when the Rio has been connected, you will get a pop-up, okay, in the system saying that a Rio has been connected. Okay, so same similarly, you'll be getting a pop-up. Yeah. So now you got a pop-up. Okay, so this will be coming each and every time whenever you are connected with a Rio. Okay. So now what I did is I just given option created as a wireless network. Okay. So now it's been created. So if I go for my Wi-Fi, okay. So you can just see here. So right now I have connected my system, my laptop to an my phone. Okay. So that's what I have been connected. So same similarly here you got option to connect to your MyRio called VIS Rio. Okay, that is what a name here I given. You can just see, and moreover here you can just give a security also, like how we give give a password for our network. Correct. So same similarly you can just create a network, but as of now it's not required. Why? Because I am alone only using this Rio. So but whenever you're using in your academics or in your college, so maybe it's better to give a password protected so that none of the guys can able to connect to your Rio. Okay, so I'll just click on connect, but as of now if I just try to connect for this, okay, the problem is I cannot able to run the session further. Why? Because my net will be disconnected. Okay, so I'm just showing you the option. Okay, so this is how it can able to be connect. So but if I connect this now, it will be my system will be connected to my Rio saying that this cannot be worked, means I'll be disconnected from the session. Okay, so actually speaking that will be not a good thing. So but if you just try to connect this, okay, so after connecting this, what else I can it can be done, I'll be just telling you. So after connecting this, so you can just see you're having here one option of IPv4 address. Okay, so here your IPv4 address for created a wireless network will be this. So 172.16.0.1. Okay, but whereas if at all you are connected your MyRio for Ethernet adapter, okay, like USB cable, so it will be 172.22.11.2. Okay, so please make a note if if it is very necessary. So you can just make a note. For Ethernet, it is 172.22.11.2. Okay, and for a wireless adapter, okay, and for wireless adapter, it is 172.16.0.1. Okay, so you have to copy this IP address. Okay, so once you have been copied, so you have to go for the project window. Okay, you can just see connection of a target will be lost. Okay, it will be coming. So here you're having the IP address, correct? So 172.22.11.2. So what you have to do, you have to right click on that Rio, go to properties. So in this properties, you will be having a window like this. You'll get a window if you go for a MyRio property. So here you have to change the IP address as 172.16.0.1. So once this is changed, okay, so once it is changed, so just click on OK. Then again, here it will be given as 172.16.0.1. Okay, so once right now I have not changed. Why? Because I am not trying to connect. Okay, so later after that, if you click on a connect, it will be connected. Okay, so once this is connected, maybe you can just remove the USB connection, like USB cable to your network. Okay, and you can just start working. Okay, this is what a procedure, but actually speaking right now I cannot show you a demo. Why? Because since our laptop is being connected to the net. Okay, so if the net get disconnected again, I have to reconnect to the to the group. Okay, so but the procedure is same. So if you want me to repeat once again, no issues. I'll be just repeating you once again the procedure of how you have to supposed to do. Okay, so or else maybe I can just show you the one more thing. I know maybe I can just show you for connect to wireless network. Okay, so why? Because creative wireless network will be different. Like MyRio will be connected as a hotspot. But if you see changed for connect to wireless network. So now if I just click on this wireless network, you can just see I'm getting n number of networks that have already been connected. Means I have already been okay. I think I'm not having my phone. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm having my cell phone here to be connected, unfortunately. But
Sir, I have one doubt.
yeah,
Sir, we can use the mobile data and we can use this, or necessary that the Wi-Fi is required?
no, ma'am. It actually does not depend on the network or a data, but it
Okay.
depends on the network. So even though you don't require internet to connect with the MyRio.
Okay, so we it's not required.
Yeah, internet is not required, but only thing is you can just create as like a blank hotspot.
Okay, fine. Okay,
Okay,
sir. Thank
but meanwhile, even though no issues, actually speaking, here actually I don't know why my cell phone is not being given here, but I already connected to my PC, but unfortunately I cannot connect over here. But these are all my neighbors' wireless networks.
you.
Okay,
Okay.
so unfortunately, but the thing is, Myrio does not require any internet connection to work. Okay, why?
Okay.
Because it's a real-time hardware, so it does not require any wireless, that data, internet to work. But we have to make sure that my Rio, my cell phone, as well as my laptop should be there in a single network.
Okay, okay, fine.
Okay,
We need to
take example.
synchronize it.
Yeah, yeah. See, it should be a synchronous. Take example that you'll be in your college. Okay, think that in your college, in your floor, you'll be having ECE department or any other civil department Wi-Fi. Okay, so that Wi-Fi will be connected to your laptop. Okay, so once that Wi-Fi is connected to your laptop, your MyVio also should be connected to the same Wi-Fi network.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, so or else think that you don't know, sir, I don't want to connect to my the Wi-Fi of our college. I want to create a hotspot to my cell phone, and that cell phone will be connected to my laptop. This is what actually I've done. So I've been already connected to my phone. It is already showing. So I don't know why it's not showing under a MyRio. So maybe I just given as a limited access, I hope so. So I have to check the settings. Okay, so but meanwhile you can just create a hotspot and connect to your laptop. That laptop, what it should be again synchronized with a MyRio.
Okay, sir. So, and any requirement in the memory, like so much GB is required for this to install it?
No, ma'am. Actually speaking, no. Like we don't need any extra additional software to work with wireless.
Okay, fine. Okay, okay.
Okay. So only
Okay,
thing is you need a Rio. So for that Rio, you need to be installed with a driver software. That's it.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Welcome. So this is what I think. Okay, maybe I have to change some settings that have to be done. Actually speaking, these are all my neighbors' Wi-Fi that I cannot able to connect for them. Why? Because it's already password protected. Okay. So unfortunately, I'm so sorry that I can could not show you a demo on this. Okay. So but the pattern or the thing is that is how we can able to work. Like previously, what I have shown, create a wireless network. Like saying that your MyRio is creating as a hotspot, so that hotspot will be connected to your laptop, as well as your MyRio can also be connected to your cell phone. Okay, so I hope in the previous sessions you have been worked on the data dashboard, correct? So where you can have been connected to IoT and you have been working with a Rio. So same similar way, okay, you can able to using the data dashboard application, you can able to control MyRio, or from MyRio you can able to send some information to your cell phone also, as well as for IoT. Okay, so this is where the MyRio will be very much useful and utilized in such a way that okay, so it can be worked even also even in the same way. So where we'll be working under the industrial projects. Okay, so in industrial projects, actually speaking, the hardware will be kept in one compact room. Okay, so where the operator will be operating the things. And in industries, like several set of machineries will be there in a different sort of places. So what they'll be doing is each and every machinery will be connected to an hotspot, like in a single network. Okay, so in MyRio or in a Serio, okay, in Serio, what we'll be doing is we'll be just trying to connect that in an sequence way. like how ma'am has been asked, right? Why? Because this does not require any internet connection. So until and unless you work for IoT, it does not require any internet connection, but it can be synchronized way. So it can be connected to in a synchronized way, and ultimately it can able to work. Okay, so once a developer has been sitting in a ground floor, think that the machineries have been in a first floor. Okay, so the the connection establishment can be happened only once it has been connected in a single network. Okay, so then he can able to monitor, the operator can able to monitor, okay, whether the machinery is been running, okay, what was the time it has been started, and what is the process is going on now. So all the things and what all the data it's been generating, all the data, everything can able to be mentioned over there. Means it can be able to view in a lab. That is what the thing. Okay, so maybe I would like to show you one video so that you can able to see how exactly the Myrio can able to be worked. Okay, let me just show you a video. Okay, so actually speaking, this video is done by the NASA Instruments. Okay, based on the Rio itself. Okay, so actually speaking, this is where the project name is two-wheel balancing robot using FPGA based real-time controller. Okay, so using FPGA, they have been trying to access as a self-balancing robot. I hope everyone have been heard this name. Okay, here they have been given as a two-wheel balancing robot, but I can say this as it's a self-balancing robot. Maybe please do watch everyone. Yeah, so maybe you can just see what all the things they have been using. Okay, so here they're using a tablet. Okay, so tablet is nothing but our phone. Even we can consider that as a phone. Okay, our phone will be connected wirelessly to the Myrio, like whatever the things have been shown, the settings configuration, so it'll be directly connected in a wireless. So and there they are using a gyroscope sensor. Okay, so I hope you know how the gyroscope works. Okay, based on it seems similar to the accelerometer, only based on the axis. Okay, so it will be keep on sending and receiving the values. Okay, so this gyroscope will be works on the protocols. Okay, by not only just directly connecting to analog or digital, so it will be works on the protocol based sensor. So then they have been using two different motor to run. Okay, so for that they are using H bridge motor driver. Why? Because it has to split the voltage to two different motors. Why? Because each motor will be having 5 volt or a 12 volt capacity. Okay, so from Myrio you can able to give up to 15 volts, maximum 15 volt of fixed power supply. Okay, so here what this H bridge dual H bridge motor driver is doing, it's just trying to split voltage as well as a current to both the motors equally, and it will going to be worked. Okay, maybe you can just watch. Yeah, here where they are using a tablet to control, that is what you have been shown in a data dashboard. Here they are doing like different sort of tests. And even here they are used a camera, so they are placed upon the Myrio, and they will be keep on watching what is in front of the thing Myrio. Yeah. So I hope I've been seeing how exactly this is working. Okay. So maybe this sort of some simple like students projects can also be done. Okay, using this Myrio and MyDAC. So comparatively, Myrio is having a much advantage compared to MyDAC. Why? Because it's having a Wi-Fi connection. It's having onboard devices. Okay, like accelerometer button. Okay, so or it can be accessed with the FPGA part. Okay, so since it's having many features that so MIDAC can also be used only for the lab purpose. Okay, so but whereas Myrio is can be meant for lab purpose as well as for some sort of projects, mini projects, or the final year major projects. Okay, so this can also be done. These parts of the things can also be done. Okay. So I hope you people have been understood like what exactly I was trying to explain. So if you people are having any doubts or any sort of issues, maybe let me know so that we'll try to check the things, and maybe you can just wind up the session.
Sir, whatever the video you have shown,
Hmm.
so in that, so its performance is same as that of a robot, right? So
Yeah.
how it sends and takes
Hmm.
the input and performs, it's a same like robotics, or
Yeah.
there's a little change in it.
No, ma'am. Actually speaking, it's totally a robotic. Why? Because that's what the name we call we call as a self-balancing robot. Okay, so
So it controls only the direction, sir, or even the other performance characteristics.
no, I'm actually speaking that video in that video what I was showing, it was only a self-balancing, means it was having only 2 to 3 application. So one application is without help of any of a human, it can able to balance self-balance. Okay, so that is one application. And one more thing is it can able to balance, along with that it can able to move for the for further distances.
But
Okay.
if there is any obstruction, it recognize it, right?
No, ma'am. Actually speaking, in this it is not having that application. Maybe if you want that application to be done, we can use. Why? Because we are using IR sensor or ultrasonic sensor. Okay, usually we prefer ultrasonic sensor to detect any sort of objects in front of that. Either it may be a wall, table, or any human activities. Okay, so in front of that, if anything is going on, it can able to detect something as happening in front of me, so I have to take a diversion to left, right, or stop, or I can able to take that. So these programming methods can able to be done. So but as of here they have used a camera so to just detect what is going on in front of that.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. So, participants, if you have any doubts, you can put in the chat box or you can just unmute it and you can ask, sir. I guess no doubts.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Well, thank you so much. Today and yesterday you have spoken about all these applications, data
Yeah.
acquisitions, and Myrio. To
Yeah.
both the topics were very interesting.
Okay.
And thank you for the coordination and support. You have been there.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the
Yeah, thank you very
support.
much. So I hope
Thank
one question has been came from Ma'am Aruna Ramalingam. Can the students do simulation projects? Yes, ma'am. Using the LabVIEW, we can able to do the simulation projects. But if you want actually the thing, if you want to feel that the students can able to go with the hardwares, okay, or the sensors they want to feel exactly, so we can able to work with. So even yes, the answer is yes, you can able to work with simulation project. So yes, ma'am, actually it's a free downloaded software. Okay, but the only thing is you'll be get whenever you try to download, you'll be able to get only the 7 days evaluation period. Okay, so after that 7 days evaluation period, maybe you can just drag up to 45 days by just logging into the NI website. So but even though if you want to get into that free, like the thing, the students can able to go for a community edition. Actually speaking, you're having one LabVIEW community edition. Okay, so in that community edition, if you try to download the software, it is actually like it will be free of cost, and the students can able to use it freely. So that is what the thing in a LabVIEW community edition we call that as. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. So just thank you one and all. So if at all you are having any queries, let me know, or else we'll just try to wind up the session for the day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Yeah.
for the support and for clearing the doubts. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.